The WI has a long history of campaigning on climate issues. Our first resolution was back in 1927 when we had a resolution on international pollution of the seas. In recent years we've been working with other climate change issues such as SOS for honeybees and pollinators, and more recently we joined up with the Climate Coalition on climate change.
So what I want to ask of you now for the next, say, 10 minutes, what's your story? What happened that you care about climate change?
I feel really passionate about climate change. I'm a mother and a grandmother, but I'm also a farmer. And in my day-to-day life, I see the effects of climate change all the time. We need to leave this planet in a good condition for our children and grandchildren.
In Worcestershire, where I live, we suffered massive flooding in 2007. So climate change and the risk of more extreme weather events is quite a significant risk. We don't want this to get worse.
The world will survive, but life as we know it won't.
This world is not ours. It's on loan from our children and our children's children.
So it's really important that we take responsibility and do something now.
Well, we started recruiting climate ambassadors back in 2016, and the whole idea was that these would be members that were out in their communities and were best able to deliver the message on climate change and get other members engaged in the whole work of climate issues.
When I realised how dire things were in terms of climate change and how important it was to do something, I really wanted to get on board with this agenda and make sure that we take action before it's too late. I walked to the annual conference of the WI. I walked 190 miles up to Liverpool and I wanted to get some press coverage. I wanted an excuse for people to start a conversation about climate change.
How can we condense all the important stuff into a format that's concise, digestible?
I wanted to get across climate data, but I knew that a flat graph would probably be a bit boring and go over most people's heads. It's one row per year. It's been absolutely amazing, the reaction that I'm getting from people already.
Really, I was inspired by the resolution SOS for honeybees and my further involvement with the National Pollinator Strategy. Doing something for pollinators was something I could really do and other WI members could do. I mean, I've turned my garden into a haven for pollinators. It's lovely for my husband, he doesn't have to cut the lawn so often, so that's good. And I'm a bit older, I'm not so shy. And I talk to people and get ideas, and that's what WI does for you. You can do things at the local level, you can do things at the national level, and you can even go to things at a more international level.
Climate ambassadors are invaluable to the organisation. They're at the grassroots of the WI and they're the ones that can make a huge difference in their communities.
If you want to change somebody's mind on something, it's very unlikely that you're going to do it the first time you see them. Sometimes that is the only opportunity you have and you have to do your best. But what I was planning to do was to go and see my MP, and I wasn't planning to go and see him once. If you've got an MP who isn't doing enough about climate change, there are no end of people out there who are more than willing to help you with it. Think of a mosquito in a bedroom. It doesn't matter that you're small, you can still make an impact.
The NFWI supports climate ambassadors by giving them resources and support to enable them to engage their members and actually deliver a strong message.
Every little step we take will become a huge leap. So if you can encourage people to take those little steps, we will have achieved so much.
I've learned from today's meeting that other WI climate change ambassadors are making a real difference, talking to their local people, their local WI members.
I've learned just how I can give back to the WI members exactly what we need to do.
There's nearly 250,000 of us. We ought to be able to make a big shout together.
Federations can have more than one climate ambassador, and I'd actually urge them to have a team of climate ambassadors, because the team is a much stronger tool in engaging members and the wider community in the work of climate change.
You need buddies and you need other people to help you, and NFWI are really, really helpful.
If there are any members who are thinking about becoming climate ambassadors, I would just encourage them to do so. If they think this is an important issue, then the more of us there are, the merrier. Join in, see what you can do, and we can have some fun together.
If any member wants to be a climate ambassador, contact your federation and NFWI and you can join the team. The stronger the team, the stronger the message. Together we can make a difference.